I'm Kelsey, creator of In Bloom Felt Studio, and today I will be showing you how to make a felt dahlia. I'm creating the dahlia from the tutorial available in my Etsy shop. It includes a PDF and SVG files as well as a written tutorial, but today I'm going to show you the assembly of the cut pieces. The materials needed for your dahlia are felt. I recommend a higher quality wool blend. Choose a color for your petals as well as your leaf. An extra small felt palm. This one is 1/2 inch. 18 gauge wire, 22 gauge wire, fabric scissors, wire cutters, floral tape, a hot glue gun, and hot glue. Let's get started. When you have all of your pieces cut out, the first thing I do is separate them into piles. Here's my extra small, medium, and large petals, and then these three will be used for your center. So I'm going to move these out of the way first so you can see how the center goes. You'll take your extra small palm and your 18 gauge wire and snip a small hole in the palm and then add some glue and add it to your stem. When that's secure, snip a small hole through the center of these three pieces. Great, so we are going to work in order of smallest to largest. Thread your smallest piece onto the bottom of your stem, slide it up, and then we're going to add glue to all of these small little petals and then pinch it and glue it up around your palm. So the important thing is just to cover up that palm, and it doesn't matter which color you use for that palm, by the way, because you're going to have it completely covered at the top and you won't be able to see what color is under there. That just helps us form our very centerpiece. Okay, so I like to leave it just a little bit spiky. Add your second and your third piece the very same way, and just have your outer edges opening up a little less tightly, if that makes sense, so it looks like the petals are unfurling a little bit there. So I'm not adding glue all the way to the edge, probably about 3/4 of the way up. So pinching it just so it looks like the petals are opening up a little bit there. This time I'm adding the glue about halfway up and then pinching up. So this will be the center of your dahlia. Go ahead and set that aside, and we're going to bring back all of your petal pieces and start gluing those next. So this is where it gets to be a little time consuming, but it is really worth it when you go to glue them all on. Before you start gluing them onto your flower, you're going to glue each of your petals by creating a small curved line of glue and then folding each edge in to the center and pinching it down. This creates a flat bottom, and it's okay if a little bit of glue seeps out because this is where we're going to add glue eventually to glue around your flower. So go ahead and glue all of your petal pieces in the exact same way, making sure to keep them separate into their piles according to their size. So while the small, medium, and large in their separate piles. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this and skip ahead to when they're all glued. So go ahead and pause the video and then hit resume whenever all of your pieces are glued. Voila! I wish it were that fast in real life. That took me about 15 minutes, but I promise it's worth all of the hard work whenever your dahlia is put together. So now all of your pieces should be glued in their separate piles. I have my small, medium, and large. Get started with your small pieces, and you're going to add glue to this very bottom piece and glue it around your center. When I glue it, I'm just doing a practice position here, and you want your petal to extend just a little bit out of that very center piece. See how that extends just a little bit? So go ahead and add glue. Maybe practice first and see exactly where you want to place it. and push down so it's just popping out a little bit. And then continue this all the way around your center until you reach back up with the first petal. Okay, so now I've added my very first layer of petals. That was 11 pieces. Next, moving on to your medium-sized pieces. And the same thing, you want this petal to extend just a little bit outward of the layer before it. So I'm gonna put it right there, which is, looks like about that spot on the back, just pushed up a little bit. All right, so that was 12 pieces. And next we're going to move on to our largest size, and again, just push out a little bit so it's extending past your layer above it. Okay, next, you're going to continue with your large size pieces and just keep it at the very same level as your first one. So this will match up almost exactly with the petals right above it. And lastly, you'll add your layer as close to the stem as possible all the way around. Okay, and that's 8 pieces on the bottom. So I just want to say there might be some variation with how many petals you use. You might find that you have a couple left over right now, or you might find that you need just a couple bit more to finish. It all depends on how tightly you folded them in the beginning, as well as your spacing around. But as long as your dahlia looks pretty consistent from one to the next, I think a little bit of variety makes it look like every flower is unique, just like in nature. So here is my finished dahlia, and we are all done with the petals. And next we are going to add on the leaves. So here are your 3 leaf pieces. This piece will be used on the bottom of your flower. Go ahead and fold it in half and snip a small hole that will thread onto the bottom of the stem and glue to the bottom of your flower petals. So next we will take your 22 gauge wire and cut about 4 inches, 2 of those 4-inch sections. We'll use these to attach onto your leaves, and then we'll use our tape to wrap them onto the stem. So this first one, add your stem almost to the top and add a line of glue, and then fold your leaf over tightly. But don't open it up yet, we'll wait for that glue to dry. So keep that folded over. And then the same thing on the next one. I'm going to place this stem about 1/3 of the way up on that upper leaf. I find this one a little easier too if I glue this bottom edge first, and then I move up and do the top. So gluing that in 2 sections. Push down hard on that wire. And if you have any extra glue peeking out like I do, just use your scissors to snip that off. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a second and open up my first leaf by pushing that wire up. And my next one should be ready now. Just open that up a bit. Perfect. Take your floral tape, and I think it's a little bit easier if I tear off a section first. That's my new roll. So tear off a long section, just a little bit easier than working off of the roll, I think. And then when you pull your tape, you're activating that sticky wax. Take either one of your leaves and you can arrange these on the stem wherever you'd like. I'm gonna put my first leaf up near the top and then wrap your floral tape around several times until you feel like it's secure. So pull that very tightly. And when you feel like it's not going to budge, you can start working your way down the stem. Okay, I'm going to add my second leaf on to the other side. So with floral tape, I find that it stays put the best if I go all the way down my stem, at least to where I know I'm gonna clip it. So think about how long you want your stem to be. I know mine's gonna be a little shorter than that, so I'm gonna stop here and clip it about an inch above where you last wrapped your tape. And that just helps the tape to not unravel. And if you find that it's still doing that, just use a little dab of glue to hold it in place. So it's really secure now. Now I'm going to adjust my leaves where I want them. That looks good there. And there's your dahlia. So now you know how to make a felt dahlia to mix and match into your felt flower bouquets. It is definitely one of my favorite flowers, and I think it's so worth all of the work that goes into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for crafting with me.